Well, you're on the side of the Boyne Valley, the north side of the River Boyne, and you're looking out over it, and you're looking over towards land on the south side beside Rossnaree, a place called Giltown, where I have some land.
I'm standing in one of the loveliest spots in the whole country, and I'm in the company of eminent senior counsel John Rogers.
We've been cultivating rapeseed there for a number of years now, and in the last year or so we've been working to try to see if we could press it into oil, and we've made an oil which we call Newgrange Gold because it comes out of fields across from Newgrange. We wanted to try to add value. It's a sort of a small enterprise, artisan some people would call it. We have a very small operation. Ian Downey, Tommy Gorman and myself devised it over the last, I suppose, year and a half or so.
What drew you to oilseed rape?
It's a rotation crop, you see. What actually happens is if you grow oilseed rape this year, it will fix nitrogen in the ground.
Yeah.
That will help your next year's wheat crop.
So it'll pay you and it'll pay the ground as well.
That's it. It's a great crop that way. Until recently, it wasn't that popular. It's grown hugely popular now.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a beautiful crop to see in the spring.
Jeez, it's lovely. You're driving around the country, or even flying in over the country is particularly beautiful.
It's an entirely new crop in our landscape.
Yeah.
It does brighten up the landscape at a time of the year when you'd want it to be brightening up a little. I bought a tiny little press from a man in England, and I pressed some oil seed.
Tell me what was going on in your head when that first pressing was happening, and when the kind of, I presume it drips into some sort of a container.
It's really you don't know what's happening because you're looking at something you've never seen before, and in your head you're saying, "Well, what does that amount to now? That oil that's in that little tray, what does it amount to?" And it's only when you have it, you give it a lick or a taste, and you get the taste of it at the back of your mouth, and then when you have it tested, that you know what you're dealing with.
One of John's right-hand men in this operation, Ian Downey.
Well, I'm here with John in about 20 years at this stage, and I used to manage the farm from. So, as John was saying, we had to find something different because the price of cattle and everything changed. So then we came across the rapeseed, and we found now that the oil, that we have more control over our product now as against with the cattle. We have something that we're producing, and we're going the whole way through the cycle, and we're putting it on the table. And please God, now it'll work out well. We have a very good product. Everyone in farming now is looking for different outlets, and you just have to move with the times.
Jack Rogers, son of John, studied ag science at UCD.
The rapeseed oil, it's been shown from all the cooks that are using it now, it's a fantastic product. You know, it's got half the saturated fat of olive oil. You know, it's very high in omega-3, and it's good to cook with, you know, and it has a high smoke point. We are now trying to introduce this camelina oil, 3 times the amount of omega-3 to rapeseed oil and other oils. And the health benefits of that alone are remarkable.
We think that we could supply a very substantial portion of the rapeseed oil consumption in the country. But we have to get there. You start somewhere. We've started on this micro artisan type level, and we'll move on from then. You've got a fistful of rapeseed, which is this year's crop.
It's like the hundreds and thousands that you see on the top of an ice cream cone or something.
Exactly, yeah. It's a tiny little, very dark seed that's waiting to be cleaned. Yeah. We have a little cleaning operation here. Yeah. That's a little hopper, which feeds over to a press, which I'll show you in a second. And, you see through there the little press.
It's extruding some sort of
that's
waste
cake.
product. That's the cake.
That's the cake. That's where the oil is being collected, and it comes down this pipe, just this little pipe here.
Yeah, pipe running into a big
vatty
tank.
Into a tank. In that tank, then it settles for a period of time, usually about 4 or 5 days. That leaves you with an oil which is purified entirely naturally by just simple settlement. Yeah. What we do is we have a little
Stage 2
Italian filter. It's pushed through that by a little pump. From that comes the cleaned filtered oil. That's the heart and soul of the process, really. The immediate ambition is simply to use the seed from our fields to make good quality oilseed rape, which we would hope would substitute for olive oil. The qualities of oilseed rape as against olive oil are simply scientific and real facts. You know, there's no adulteration in this process. There's no manipulation of the oil by say, trying to alter the taste or flavour of it by pumping steam through it or anything like that. What you see in the bottle is simply a cold pressed oil which hasn't been manipulated in any way.
Could this particular JR be the new oil magnet of County Meath?
Maybe, but hopefully not with the
Not as nasty.
not with the characteristics, the character traits. I hope I'll avoid that.
And if Newgrange Gold are stuck for a little bit of marketing assistance in the future, they could do a lot worse than tap on the talents of Rachel Downey, aged 7.
They have like these little cards, right? And then when people, like visitors, we give them, and then they have lots of stuff on it. And it says like Manager Ian Downey and Newgrange Gold and all that.
Very good.